2008 Aston Martin Vantage Volante. So 2008 makes it a 4.3 V8 Volante, obviously the convertible top. This one's in a lovely spec of green hood, metallic green bodywork, two-tone green interior. So I would suggest if you don't like green, probably this isn't the car for you. I think Aston Martin's probably the only sports car that can get away with that colour combo, but it does look fantastic. We actually took the photos outside on this one. You can see how nice that colour is in the sun. We'll start by having a look at the bodywork. If we look down this driver's side, you can see it's lovely and straight down there. It's not full of ripples or filler or anything like that. Front driver's wing, we've got one tiny little stone chip just there on that wing itself, and a very light scuff just sitting on the top of the edge of the actual wheel arch itself. That looks like it's sitting on top of the paint, so it does look like it'll come out nice and clean around the arch all the way around itself. It's on the 7-spoke alloy wheels, which are in lovely condition. There's no sign of any curb marks at all on those. We've got a Bridgestone tyre on that one, but we'll check them as we go. Discs look to be nice, as do the calipers. They're lovely and clean as well in the correct graphite grey. Nice and tidy on that chrome striker on the vent, and around the vent itself is all good. Down the bottom here you've got one or two very minor stone chips, but really nothing major. Most of that's actually road dirt from us doing a terrible job of cleaning the car, so we'll ignore that. Lovely and clean coming down this driver's side. Again, if we have a look up the A-pillar here, there's no sign of any stone chips on that or on the leading edge of the windscreen. Quite often you can get a bit of delamination in the corners on these cars or in the quarter light, but as you can see, this one they're lovely and clean and clear. Nice and tidy on the wing mirror. And again, these stanchions on the mirrors, normally they're peeling with paint, but actually this one's really good. Coming down the driver's door, it's all nice and tidy. The usual problem next to the door handle where you've got a little bit of, it's not rust because obviously they're aluminium, but it's got a little bubble in the paint there. Just pretty common on these. I can't remember the last time we had one in that didn't have that, to be fair. Lovely and clean along the bottom of the sill there, and nice and tidy along this panel here. Normally this is where it kicks out, as you can see. Normally you get caked in stone chips, but actually this one's good. It does have quite a large piece of PPF there to protect the paint, but there doesn't seem to be any stone chips on it either. Nice and clean on the rear arch all the way around. Another good wheel and tyre, nice and clean on both calipers, so the brake caliper and the handbrake caliper there, all nice and tidy. Another look up that side from here. Like I say, it's not full of ripples or filler or anything like that. Coming round onto the back, both taillights clean and bright. It's nice to see they've had a bit of PPF fitted on this section here, where you would sort of catch things coming in and out of the boot. Just a bit of attention to detail. Lovely and tidy around the bottom half of that bumper. Do have a very small scratch just on the actual tailgate itself. I'll lift it up into the light, you might see it a bit better. You can just see that there. Top of the boot lid is all good. There's no swirls or bird poo marks or anything in it, and the same with the deck lid, but we'll have a good look at that when we drop the roof down. And then round on the passenger side, same story, nice and tidy. It is worth pointing out, looks worse under our lights, but there is a bit of a colour discrepancy between those two panels. It doesn't look too bad in the daylight, but it does look worse under our lights there, but it is there. I would say it's this rear quarter that's been painted, because it's sort of off from that. They match each other. I would guess it's the rear quarter. Rear quarter itself is nice and tidy. We don't have any PPF there, so I would say it definitely is that rear quarter, because there's no PPF on that section there, but there is on the other side. This rear wheel, lovely and tidy. Another Bridgestone tyre on there as well. Nice clean calipers. We didn't check the tyre on that that rear driver's side, so we'll go back there. Yeah, another Bridgestone, so 3 out of 3 Bridgestone so far. Yeah, looking up this side, not full of ripples or filler. Nice and clean along that sill. Passenger door, we've got a little stone chip just to note there. Other than that, looks to be all nice and tidy. Again, around that wing mirror, nice and tidy. We've got a little bubble there. Again, it's a common area. Like I say, it's not rust, it is aluminium. But it is worth pointing it out. All clean along there. And then this front arch, got a little stone chip just on the leading edge of the arch there. Another good wheel and tyre and caliper with a matching Bridgestone. So we've got Bridgestones all around. Normally on these Vantages, these are caked in stone chips, but these ones are lovely and clear, as is the grille itself. Lower half of the bumper's all good. It does come on that plate, Y7VAN. Got one little stone chip that's peeled the lacquer ever so slightly there, and a couple of minor stone chips on the front. But for the age of the car, I would say generally pretty good. Moving on to the interior. And you've got that lovely green two-tone door card. All the aluminium trim's nice and tidy. Door shut's good. Obviously got your Vantage build plaque down there, which normally they faded. Actually, that one's pretty good. Driver's seat looks a bit dirty on the camera, but actually it is lovely and clean. Got a little bit of wear on the bolster, but generally pretty good. Handbrake gate is all nice and tidy. Steering wheel's good, as is the top of the dash. And the centre section is all nice. We've got electric memory seats, obviously. Cruise, steering wheel controls, aircon, sat nav as well on this one. And this one is the power shift auto. Do love the way doors open and close on these Vantages. Into the boot, and it does have the charging system installed there. Got a cover there. The rest of the boot's all lovely and clean. So these doors are on quite strong rams. They're designed to lift up slightly. You'll notice they don't just open out, they lift, which obviously means you can get them up nice and wide in a small space. Nice and clean on that passenger seat. No real wear at all to note there. Carpet set is lovely and clean, as is the dash on this side. Underside of the hood, it looks a bit dirty on the camera, but that is just the light. It is lovely and clean. We'll have a look at the sort of the scalloped bit behind them when we have a look at the roof. Open the bonnet while we're down there. So this is the 4.3 litre V8, which actually sounds better than the later 4.7 cars, I think. We'll start it up in a second. Lovely and tidy under there. It's been with us for about a week or so. Starts on the button. Doesn't seem to be dropping any fluids or anything like that. It was driven up to us as well from about, I believe about 100 miles away, something like that. Build plaque all on the front there. So on the early cars, you have key on the steering column. The later cars had that glass key, which went in the middle of the dash, which is incredibly expensive when you inevitably drop it. These ones, it's just key on. Hit the button, it'll fire up. We've got warning lights for handbrake. Bonnet open, obviously. If you take that off, it'll take the handbrake light off. But it's telling me the bonnet and the door are open because the bonnet and the door are open, and that I haven't got my seatbelt on. Mileage wise, if we scroll through this, we'll find the right button. Sat nav powering up there as well. I think we're going to need bonnets and doors shut for that, so we'll do that in a second. But nothing nasty flying out the back. Lovely and smooth around the front. Roof is a nice and simple one. There's no latches to unlock or anything like that. You've just got your button down here. Hit the button, it'll drop your windows. It's going to unlatch the front, which it has, and then it's going to send the whole thing down. Opens that rear deck lid cover, and away it goes. And it has one of the best looking deck lid covers, I think, on a modern convertible. It's really, really good looking. What we'll do is we'll drop those windows down, shut the door, and it's going to get rid of those warning lights. Want it to remember that the roof's down. Give it a couple of seconds. No, we're going the wrong way, ignore me. There we go. Roof movement complete. Thank you. There we go. So roof movement complete. No warning lights other than the handbrakes on. 76,710 miles showing there. If we have a look around this section, all this leather is lovely and tidy. Behind the seats are nice and clean. You've got these storage compartments and things under here. Again, all nice and tidy. Lovely and clean around on this side as well. Normally you'd think they get sort of a bit faded in the sun, but they're very, very good. It's cold, so I'm not going to jump on the throttle, but we'll give it a little rev because it does sound excellent in this car. Obviously, all the better with the roof being down. So there you go, 2008 Aston Vantage. Any questions at all, please get in touch. Thank you.